Yearbooking as a purpose. All right, this is something I've been thinking about all summer long. Things just started to come together for me. And they pretty much circulate around two words that I've heard a lot lately. Now, the one word I heard from folks just over and over and over again last school year, teachers, administrators, and such that I talked to, and so on. I kept hearing this same word over and over and over again. And the word from last year was the word apathy or apathetic. So many students last year, and come on, we all agree, last year was a tough school year in so many different ways. What's this year going to bring? We don't know. Bit of a rough start, right? Is how long is this going to continue? All fall into the winter? Will it burn out by Thanksgiving? Will it keep on going into the spring? The bottom line is nobody knows. Nobody has any idea. All right. So we're going to have to take it as it comes. But last year, so many adults told me so many students were apathetic. They had a I don't give a hoot attitude. I don't care. Let's do the bare minimum. And so a lot of students, of course, really struggled. Hopefully not you, but I know you know somebody, probably multiple somebodies who probably did, right? A lot of folks struggled. Well, could that happen again? Ugh, this coming year? Again, nobody knows, but is there something we can maybe do about that? So apathy was a word I just heard over and over and over again last year. That's one word. Here's the second word. And it's a word I heard frequently over the summer. Here's a little backstory. I live out in the country and I have several acres and I have a very large lawn, very big. I need a lawn tractor to mow it, all right? So over the summer, I do things like mow the lawn and rake and weed, trimming and brush clearing. And I was clearing out some old stuff that we don't use anymore on my property and all that sort of stuff. And when I'm outside working, when I get a chance, I like to listen to podcasts. Maybe you do the same thing. All right, I've got my phone in my pocket and I'm listening to a podcast. I listen to all kinds of stuff, business, education, science, history, sports, all kinds of things. And with a lot of these podcasts, as I was working over the summer, I kept hearing the same word over and over again, especially if young people were being described in some way. And the word is on the screen there. The word is purpose. All right, young people, you can agree or disagree with me. Maybe hopefully I'm resonating here. All right, people want a purpose for what they're doing, maybe over and above the usual stuff. All right, we all want a purpose for what we're doing, especially apparently, I'm told in these podcasts and so on, young people are really looking for a purpose. All right, so again, on the screen there, last year, all those words, again, hopefully not you, but boy, it was around, no doubt about it. Could it happen again? Hopefully not, but even if the pandemic just disappears tomorrow, probably some of this, unfortunately, is going to stick around. All right, I hate to say that, but it's true. For the young people watching, if you don't follow like news and so on, there are a lot of adults, a lot of teachers, administrators, experts, and so on. They consider a lot of last year as a lost year. Education kind of took a dive last year. A lot of students struggled, didn't learn a whole lot. Now, part of the challenge for this year is supposed to be, we've got to get people caught up. We've got to get young people caught up to where they should be after last year's train wreck. All right. Will that happen? I don't know. We'll find out. But maybe let's remember that word purpose. Is there something your group can do, some added purpose, what I call their yearbooking as a purpose, that goes well beyond just making pages in a book? All right, let's be blunt. Anybody can make pages in a book. It's not that hard. And maybe after a while, it gets kind of boring. But what could our group do in addition to that to make our effort better, but also maybe some ways to affect more people? What kind of a purpose could your yearbook staff adopt that you would do literally all year long, all the way to the last day of school, like maybe after the last day of school? Something regularly you can do as a helping thing for other people. Now, I've got some quick notes and things there on the screen, some possible purposes that maybe you want to think about. The first one there, maybe you make it your staff's purpose. You're going to tell at least one story about every single student in school this year. Now, hold on, don't panic, all right? Obviously, schools are different sizes. You have small, you have really large, you have the ones in the middle, and so on. But think about that. Imagine if you could do that. That was your purpose, and you have the whole rest of the school year to do it. So we're not talking about a week or a month. We've got the whole stretch. Maybe your staff's purpose is going to be, along with all the normal yearbooky stuff that we do, we want to tell a story, at least one, about every single person in school this year. We can do it in our book. We can do it via social media. We could do it in other ways. Now, let's talk about storytelling very quickly for a moment, because I think a lot of students get confused here. When I say storytelling, I am not talking about what you're probably thinking about. Oh, he wants me to write some story about somebody. Well, yeah, you could do it that way. That's one way to tell a story, all right? As far as yearbooking is concerned, and probably social media too, you can tell somebody's story with a picture and a caption. Now, the caption could literally be one sentence, hopefully a little bit more than that, give us little details and so on. And it doesn't have to be big, all right? It could be like on a yearbook page, it could be small, picture and a caption, but by doing that, we've told someone's story. And believe me, I don't care where you are, where you live, how big your school is, there are students in your school, probably the quiet ones and so on, they have stories to tell and they get ignored. How can we change that, especially this really difficult year? How can we change that? How can we make that for the better? So maybe that could be a purpose of your yearbook staff. All right, school spirit. I know a lot of schools struggled with school spirit last year because of you know what. And this year, who knows? You know, probably maybe you're watching me, you're wearing a mask and you got to do the distancing thing and all this other stuff. And who knows how long we're going to have to do that. School spirit might be lagging again. What could your group do to maybe help boost that? Well, with storytelling, that kind of can tie in. All right, regular social media posts, maybe some other ways that you can do it as part of your regular effort. We want to boost school spirit. What can we do from now, literally, till the end of the school year? All right, hopefully not you, but I know probably already there are students out there struggling in various ways. They could be struggling already academically. They could be struggling in other ways. Now, we don't want to get too personal here, nothing like that. But maybe somehow your yearbook staff purpose could somehow be tied in with that. How can we help students out there who are struggling? What can we do as part of our efforts to help out folks that are maybe struggling along the way so that last year doesn't repeat itself? Think about that. Maybe there's some other idea that is unique to your community. Again, guys, I've been doing this for over 2 decades. Every school is different. Every town is different. Every area or region is different. All right. You have city schools, you have rural schools, you have suburban schools, and they're all different in their own unique ways. So maybe there's some kind of a purpose that's somehow tied to your particular neighborhood, your area, that might be different from some other place over there. All right, let's brainstorm and kind of think about that. Yeah, maybe we could do something here. Now, if you have a yearbook theme, maybe somehow you tie your staff purpose to your yearbook theme. And that could be something kind of, maybe humorous or more lighthearted, or it could be very serious, or it could somehow be tied to your yearbook theme in some particular way. Now, one thing here, let's not force it. Over the years, I've seen some yearbook staffs, they come up with a theme and then everything has to go through the prism of that theme. And sometimes it feels really forced. Yeah, we don't want to go down that road. But depending on what your theme is, maybe there's something there. All right. All right, so we're going to take a break here, only for about maybe 8 minutes this time. Once again, I want you to speak up at your end. Somebody do some note taking, be a secretary or whatever. If this is an idea you might be interested in, and I hope it is, what could be some ideas of a staff purpose for this year over and above the usual stuff, taking pictures and making pages in a book? All right. And maybe if you've got some agreement at your end, maybe you can figure this out in 8 minutes. That'd be kind of cool. All right. Let's see what you can come up with. I'll take myself off the screen. All right. Ready, set, go.